guys? Welcome everyone to episode 20 of the Drip Geeb Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Geeb, and with me is host Drip Media Gaming. We record this podcast live on Twitch every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to the audio version of this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, or anywhere you can find a podcast. You can also watch our video podcast over on youtube.com/DripGeeb. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and download it every week. On today's episode, we have stuff to talk about. We have the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack, debacle, controversy, nauseous nonsense. We have the 64 controller Drip in hand, both of us. We're going to get our reactions on this controller and how good or bad it may be or may not be. And we got other stuff to talk about. With that being said, Drip, how are you doing on our on our 20th episode of this Drip Geeb Podcast?
Oh man, 20 episodes. Technically, it's not 20 though. Technically, it's 21.
No, actually, it's more like 24. If you count like all our other episodes too.
But we had episode 0 too. But yeah, 20, man. Yeah. We made it. I mean, we're coming up on a 25th anniversary. Are you going to buy me something nice?
I didn't even think about that.
25 whole long episodes.
Yeah. Well, not all of them are long. One's 5 minutes and one's supposed to be 5 and it's 40.
Sending me flowers, all kinds of nice stuff. All kinds of nice stuff.
I'm going to send
I'll be expecting it. I will be waiting next Thursday at my front door waiting for flowers.
I mean, actually, I'll be waiting at my front door for Abby's gift package that she won on your costume contest.
Yeah, haven't done that yet.
We quickly acknowledge that was a success, man. That was a great night.
That was great. Yeah, the Animal Crossing Halloween costume contest, second edition. It went great. Yeah, it was amazing. It was really good. I got to say, the costumes, I mean, I didn't think they could get any better than they were last year. But this year, it was insane. They were so good. They were so good.
I want to say that Gels' costume from last year would have 100% competed this year. In fact, probably would have won a trophy. So we're not the top. Like, it wasn't like it was anything was way better than last year winner. But as far as overall costumes, everyone stepped it up a notch.
Everybody's was fire.
So
all of them.
The worst costume from last year was way better this year, if that makes any sense. Like I'm not, everyone had a great costume is what we're trying to say. It was fantastic this year.
It was really good.
Holy crap. And Abby won, and she's here. She's in the background. She can see her face, right? If you're watching our podcast. She, instead of a fireplace tonight, she's playing Animal Crossing in the background because this episode is going to be largely about Animal Crossing. But before we get to that, we have, our beer of the week, as we always do.
Yeah. I need to do that. I need to get it out. Go ahead. You go first. What do you got?
All right. So my beer of the week has a story involved with it. So it's not actually the beer that's interesting. In fact, most of you might hate it. And in fact, I don't really like it myself either. I don't enjoy drinking it, but we're doing it because of the story. So my beer of the week is a Miller Lite.
Oh God.
Yeah. Says the man who drinks Busch Light.
Busch Light is don't.
Okay, so it's I don't like this beer. I didn't purchase this beer either. This beer was given to me, a 24-pack for free at work. One of the gentlemen who goes to the church that I work for needed assistance, and we helped him out. He's storing some stuff in our storage area, and I had to go to his place to pick it up. Because I work for the church. That's part of my job. So I went there, and in a thank you and he's an elderly man who can't pick things up himself. So I drove over there with the parish truck, picked up all the stuff, brought it back to the parish, and in a thanks, he gave me a 24-pack of Miller Lite.
I mean, you can't beat that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's free beer. I'll take it. The guy himself, he's a very nice gentleman, but man, it was an awkward encounter. Like the dude, he gave me so clearly the guy seems to be a hoarder of sorts.
Okay.
So I got to his a little apartment. I think it was a condo for elderly people, whatever you call that, that whole place. And he's he was very nice. Love talking to him. Unfortunately, kind of forced upon me some things I didn't want, and I'm not the only person who he tried that with. In fact, I got back and I told my boss that he kind of forced me to take these speakers home, which probably they were terrible. I threw them in a dumpster. they were trash.
Wow.
He was like, "Oh, those speakers." I'm like, "You know about these speakers?" He's like, "Yeah." He tried to give them to me. I told him no. And I'm like, "Oh, great! I'm glad I'm the one who was a sucker and just said yes." Yeah. Anyway,
so now you have the Are they
No,
I mean, are you using them?
I instantly put them in the dumpster. They're some speakers from like the 90s
Come
that
on,
they're
man.
trash and they're proprietary connection. So I was like,
They're
they're
probably amazing. You didn't even try them. You should have plugged them in.
So they weighed like 2 pounds. Like they were like a feather. They're very light. And if you know anything of speakers, you don't want light speakers. They'll sound like garbage. And the brand recognition, there was no brand. It was some random generic brand and proprietary connection. I couldn't even plug them into anything that I have if I wanted to. So
I mean, clearly you should have opened these things up, rewired them, and used them.
That's actually a good idea. That to take out the actual speaker itself and try to like jerry rig it into my own rig. Actually, Parallax in the chat, we actually did that as when we were younger. If you remember that, Parallax, I think you were in high school and I was in middle school. We actually made some bootleg speakers with some woofers that we had laying around. We used like plastic like kids little tub.
Oh my god! I can imagine the two of you just
the toy storage tubs, and we like cut a hole in it, put the speaker in it. Do you remember that? He remembers. He does remember. That was amazing. They sounded not bad if I remember.
That is amazing.
Anyway, that is the story of the Miller Lite. We'll go ahead and crack that open.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it, but I'm sure it was a nice little crack there.
The audio can.
Mine
tastes like crap, by the way.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me. I don't want to know anything about the taste. Mine is actually something I had one 6-pack of last year around this time, and I was like, man, this is really good. This is the beer of this kind that I've always really wanted to have. None of the others stack up, but I have the Yingling Hershey's Chocolate Porter.
Oh man, the way you were holding it, I could see the cap, and I was like, "That's Yingling. Whatever it is, it's Yingling." I know that. Like, I know that cap.
It's okay. First off, what a great pairing of two companies. Both like right there in PA. Like, why not? Like your neighbors. You know what I mean?
They're a bit farther from apart.
Okay, don't ruin my story.
But I know what you mean. They're both
They're right beside each other. They're neighbors.
They're old.
So it's like
they're old, and they're both from Pennsylvania.
Old. Yeah. Anyway, the thing about this beer is, I had it last year, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like, there's all kinds of like chocolate beers out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
None of them actually taste like chocolate, though. None of them.
Yeah.
This 100% tastes like not only chocolate, it tastes like Hershey's chocolate.
I have yet to try that.
You know the difference between like Mars chocolate and Hershey's chocolate. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like there's a distinct difference. This tastes like Hershey's chocolate. It's amazing. I found it last year. I had 1 6-pack of it, and when it was gone, I was like, I need more of that. And I went to look for it, and it was gone. Yeah. So I picked up a little extra this year. I'm gonna try. This is probably gonna be my Thanksgiving Day beer.
Awesome, dude. I gotta try that, man.
It's really good. Oh man, I'm telling you, man. And what's funny is, like, I have a bunch of leftover Halloween candy that the kids didn't take. I set a bowl out when I took my kids out here.
Yeah.
And I got back, and what's really weird is usually there's no way that anything's, in the bowl. A lot of it was still in the bowl. So I was like,
wow,
sweet. That's mine. I'm keeping that here. But yeah, I've been like, editing video, and I walk through the kitchen and I'll be like, Kit Kat, Hershey bar. Yeah, it's becoming an issue at this point. I think I need to probably just throw the rest of it away because I've eaten a ridiculous amount of candy over the last
that's the thing being
4 or 5 days.
That's the thing being like a single guy at the moment, like you are, like nobody in the house. So like
it just sits there, dude.
Well, for you, because you have control of yourself. And you recognize that if I have this in this house, I will eat it all.
I know, and I should honestly just stop what I'm doing right now. We've realized a problem. I need to go take care. I should just walk up there and throw it away right now.
I mean, not right now. We're kind of in the middle of something.
Okay, well, I'll do it later. And now I say I'll do it later, and I won't. I'll walk up there and eat another Kit Kat or a Reese cup.
Yeah, I mean, I just had 4 Crunch bars in a Milky Way or whatever that is. Like I have no control. It's bad.
I know. I feel it.
So
I feel it.
So everybody in the chat, I want to remind you guys that if you want to participate, just go ahead and highlight your message, and then we'll try to get to your comment if we can. That's how you interact with us tonight. Just FYI. So yeah, beer of the week out of the way. Delicious beers, both of us, arguably. No,
Me too.
actually, incorrect. But the next topic that we're going to talk about, and by the way, if you hear Abby talking in the background, that's because she's freaking out because she's playing Animal Crossing, like I said earlier, and she's just
Dude, it's awesome.
for the first time. The update has come early, and that's a decent segue. Unfortunately, we're not getting to that at the moment. The first thing we're gonna get to, that would have been a good segue for later. Right now, the Nintendo Online expansion pack, but more importantly, the 64 controller. Drip and I both have that in our hands. We were lucky enough to get our hands on one, and boy, dude, I'll let you go first because you're the man. But dude, I got things to say about this thing, and positive things.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I made a video about it.
Yeah.
And most of the people here have watched the video, which, if you haven't, you know where to find it. Go check it out. Dude, opening the box. Right out of the box, I was like, man, like once I just had it in my hands, just hit a couple of the buttons, I'm like, wow, this takes me back to my mom's living room over on East Side in Fairmont. I remember that old big TV we used to sit in front of when these things had wires connected to them.
Man.
To the TV. Me and my older brother used to lay there and play Cruising USA. I mean, it took me right back, man. It feels exactly the same. And that's the thing. Like a lot of people kept their 64s or ended up getting new ones. People who are really into Nintendo.
Right.
I just never did. I never went back. You know what I mean? So it's literally been like 10 years since I've had one of these things in my hand. And when I took it out of the box, dude, like it was instant, like, wow. Like it hit me a certain way. You know what I mean? I was really, I don't know. It's great. I really love it. The fact that they added Rumble to it is cool. You don't have to worry about the old Rumble packs. I talked about that in the video, but for you youngins out there who don't know anything about 64, we used to have to take these big, bulky little packs, and this used to be an open slot on the back here. For you audio listeners, it's on the back. But you would put it in there, and it would clip in, and that's what would give you Rumble. It was either that, or you could put a save pack in there. One or the other. You didn't get both.
Right.
But they included it in there, which is great. I mean, it's literally, I don't know. It's just a little box of nostalgia that came in the mail that I was very, very excited about.
Yeah, man. So my relationship with the 64 and controller is interesting. It's not as simple as I owned one as a kid and have nostalgia. So for me, I did play it. I played 64 a lot. In fact, Mario Kart 64, that's probably the most Nintendo game. I'm thinking about it besides the Switch, non-Switch Nintendo game. That's the most Nintendo game I've played in my life. Like
Mario 64?
Yeah, because that was what I would do. I would go. And also I was thinking it's probably been 17 years since I picked up that controller. That's what I'm thinking, because I was probably 10 years old the last time I picked up a 64 controller. So like
like we had some around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I was moving around in my younger days, like they were around, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I didn't own anything. I played it a lot, but I didn't own it. I went over to my friend's house, a couple doors down, and we play. And as soon as I booted up the sounds of 64, like I didn't realize that the nostalgic hit was gonna hit me. I was like, oh, this like I'm like, yo, I remember this, like that. Dude, that was the sounds that were coming out of the Nintendo 64. I was like, I have way more nostalgia for that game than I thought I had.
And I don't even want to get into the games yet, because we're obviously we're getting there.
Right. But the actual controller itself, when I picked it up, my first thought was, wow, it's big. And I thought that was interesting because the last time I picked it up, my hands were quite smaller, much smaller than they are now. But
I don't think it's big. Yeah. Like I grabbed it the way you grab it, for us normal people who hold a Nintendo 64 controller, you hold the middle and the side, not the two sides.
Right.
Psychos.
Unless you're playing a D-pad game. You're not playing a D-pad game
just
like
play
this.
Like weirdos. Anyway, it's actually kind of tight. It's a little bit, big hands these days. It's like it's a little tight. It still works fine. Obviously, everything works fine. The thing that I have a problem with is that you can't map any buttons on it. Like all the other controllers, you can actually go in. Well, you can, but it is no. Actually, I'm wrong. You can map the other controller. We'll get into that. This one is locked. You can't map anything.
Correct.
So you literally have A and B. You have no X or Y. So any game that requires X or Y or, R or ZR, I guess would be, because I guess Z would be ZL, I think. Well, it's got ZR up on the top, but I mean,
It's not usable. It's just a
it's
tiny little
yeah,
button. It's similar size to like your camera capture
right,
button and
right,
all that, because it's not ZR is not a functioning button. ZR it's meant to operate the Nintendo Switch Online software. It's not
right. The
meant
menus, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, you don't have enough buttons to actually use it for anything. Like I wanted to play Breath of the Wild with this. I don't know why, but you
Me
you
too.
literally can't even take out. You can't use your sword
Yeah.
if you use this controller, which sucks.
Yeah.
I wish they would unlock that and just make you be able to map it just like you can the other ones, because that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, going off of that, I was going to say this a very similar thing. One of the reasons I got this controller because I was excited not only to play it with other 64 games, like for example the what's that on the 3D All Stars pack, Mario 64 on there. And actually, as of today, they actually patched that, so now you can actually use this
I saw
controller
that.
properly. So that
That
no
wasn't
longer is-
today, actually. It was somebody
Yesterday?
said that in my chat last night.
Okay. Yeah, whenever it was recently they updated. That's cool that they did that now. But when I first got this controller, that's one of the first things I did was boot up that game on that cartridge, not on the Switch Online. And I was very sad to see that I couldn't play the game. I'm like, what? Like, I need Y? What? Why do I need Y? But yeah, you can't remap the controller. If you try to go in your Switch menus and forcefully remap it, it tells you that it is not compatible.
It doesn't let you do it.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
That's stupid.
It's
that's
so stupid. The other thing that's kind of stupid. And listen, I'm gonna get hate for this because there's so many nostalgic creeps out there. But listen,
Here comes old man Geeb.
listen.
Go ahead.
I'll start with the positive. I freaking love this controller, man. It's so comfortable. It's shockingly comfortable. You look at this and you go, that is stupid, and you'd be correct. But then you hold it and you're like, wow, this is comfortable, and you'd be correct. It's very nice to play these 64 games on this controller.
Before you go any
sense.
further, it makes literally a night and day difference. Trying to use a pro controller to play these 64 games and going back to this, it's not even comparable.
I bring this around with me. This comes with me to bed so I can play the games in bed.
I'm telling you,
tabletop has never been more important.
I cannot play the 64 games in handheld mode.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to use, this is what's weird. The fact that you have to use ZR on this side, which is going to be your Z on this, and then you use R on this side. So you're like opposite sides.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a huge deal when you just say it, but my brain does not let me do that correctly in the moment trying to like play a game.
I agree.
I'm trying to do that on Star Fox because, okay, in Star Fox, like the back button, Z, is how you do your barrel rolls one way, or you turn the other way, and R is how you do it, the other way.
Right.
So on a regular controller, I want to do L and R, but no, L doesn't exist. What does, but it does nothing on Star Fox 64. So I'm sitting there trying to, do a barrel roll and just getting shot in the ass the whole time. So it was really, really weird for me to get used to that, and I didn't really like it. Before we finish your thought, I have to bring something else up because I'm really excited about this, and if I don't say it right now, I'm gonna forget. I believe I've told you this already, but I have decided that my new goal is to own the speed run record for Star Fox 64.
Like number one.
Where
are you at currently?
I'm not timing myself exactly, but we've been doing it on stream. I was at, what was it, 83 minutes? No, I'm sorry, 53 minutes.
Okay.
53 minutes.
And that's beating the whole game.
Which is around 82nd in the world right now.
Okay. Listen, man, that's great. It's a 20-year-old game. I mean, that's 20 years of records.
And I died like, no, dude. I shouldn't have died where I died. Like, and I didn't hit any of the shortcuts. I didn't, I'm still learning how to do it, but I'm telling you, It's going to
Yeah.
happen.
Well, we'll catch back up with you later on in the Drip Geeb episodes and see how far you got. Quickly before I finish my thought as well, I just want to highlight a new viewer in the Twitch chat, but I see them all the time on Discord. Power Mad, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for coming through.
Listen, so happy that he's here. Do you realize how late he's up right now?
He's UK, I think, right? Or they're
he's
UK.
He is up late. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it, dude, for sure. But he's like, Geeb knows you have to sleep with the N64 controller. Yeah, man. It's like, I love this thing. It's so,
and that's
it's fun.
Great. And that's the thing. A lot of people want these, and we're lucky to have these.
Yes,
we are lucky to have. They were very difficult to get. I mean, they're going for. Megaboyd actually said in my chat last night he lost his mind and almost bought one on eBay.
Yeah.
For I think he said $120. It's a $50 controller.
Megaboyd bought that?
He did not. No. He ate a Snickers and came to his senses.
I was gonna like have my heart was gonna drop. Like, dude.
No, he didn't.
So sorry
he didn't do it.
But
they're coming. Nintendo said themselves they're coming back. They're gonna have more. Next year.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a month, 2 months away. Like.
Yeah.
Don't give these scalpers the benefit of the doubt. Don't buy this shit from them. Do not do it.
So I'm gonna keep buttering you guys up before I trash the controller. It's awesome.
Oh God, is that what you're gonna do?
No, that's a joke. I'm not gonna try. Why would I say I love it and then trash it? It makes no sense. Like I truly, that's not a lie. I love this thing. The plastic is so nice. Okay. The buttons feel great. The only functionality.
The gloves are off. No, the gloves are off now. Say what you got to say.
Let me finish.
Let's hear your criticism here.
Functionality wise, it's dumb. This is a dumb idea. This was never a good idea to have the C buttons. That was never a good idea. It makes sense for the games, but that doesn't mean it was a good idea ever. I don't care.
It's actually a great idea.
It's a terrible idea. Another terrible idea: making the controller in this shape. It's
also
a dumb idea. It's a dumb idea.
You're wrong.
It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Luckily, it's ergonomic enough and comfortable enough that it's like, this is fun and it makes sense. This is a dumb design. The C buttons are dumb. It's a D-pad in button form on the left side that doesn't even function like a D-pad. It doesn't make any sense.
Actually, it does. It does.
Doesn't make any sense.
It moves your camera in Super Mario 64. It totally does. It acts just like you have to remember this, dude. You, as a young man, don't think about things like this. When this controller came out, dual sticks,
I know,
weren't a thing. That's not something that was done. We didn't have that. We didn't have that luxury,
I get it.
Like you kids these days. You kids these days.
Can you let me rebuttal? Can you let me rebuttal?
We used to walk.
Allow me to rebuttal.
In the snow, both ways uphill to play Nintendo 64, okay?
Let me rebuttal.
Okay, go ahead.
My rebuttal to that statement about that you don't understand, or like back in the day they didn't have two. I'm not talking about like if they would have. They already put one analog. If they would have put two analogs, that would have been really ahead of the time, ahead of the curve. I don't expect them to do that. But like I said, this is essentially a D-pad. It's literally essentially a directional pad to move your camera. They got that far,
but it's not just for cameras. It's not just for cameras though.
But why does the D-pad also? Why can't the D-pad? Why couldn't they just put a second D-pad on this side and give it the functionality of a D-pad in addition?
Because
to
when they make
function?
it buttons, you can use Ocarina of Time. These are where your weapons are. You can just bam right there. There's your weapon. Bam right there.
And the same thing can happen with the D-pad, but it's a more pleasing design.
It doesn't make sense to do it on a D-pad.
No, because in modern games today, like shooters, for example, you use a D-pad in a different spot, granted, but you use your D-pad you can use a D-pad to change weapons, to change things.
Believe it or not, there are actually games that you can control that with this over here. There are some games on the 64. I don't remember which ones, but also I told you this the other night, and you do know this. There was a function in GoldenEye where you could plug two of these in, and you could actually dual wield sticks and hold two controllers and use one for your camera and use one to move.
Yeah.
You had to use two separate controllers to do it, but it was in the game where you could do that in a single player fashion. I don't know if you could do it whenever you were playing split screen, like versus.
Yeah. All I'm trying to say here, you might be taking my words a little bit out of context. All I'm really trying to say is that instead of buttons, they should have put a literal second D-pad on the other side. And not only that, they also should have given the C buttons the ability to be a D-pad as well as be the C buttons. So you could do dual analog. You could not analog, but you can use two D-pads instead of two analog sticks. That makes sense. That would have made more sense to do that.
I don't think so. I think I don't know.
And they could have designed. I'm thinking while they were designing this, that's what they should have done.
I always thought though, like this side of the controller, honestly, for me, they could have cut it off right there. Like this D-pad, in all my time playing Nintendo 64, I think I touched that D-pad maybe. I can't even remember a game that used it.
Right, because
it's just over there by itself. I kind of felt bad for it. Like,
well, that's why.
Why are you here?
Yeah, sorry. That's why modern D-pads are like down and out of the way nowadays, because they we've kind of figured out nowadays.
By the way, since we're on the subject, absolutely fantastic D-pad on this thing.
Great. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Absolutely fantastic. One of the best D-pads I think I've ever experienced in my life.
It's like if the Pro Controller D-pad was better. That's what this feels like.
I wish that was on the Pro Controller.
Like the Pro Controller feels like, if I can think of one D-pad that's similar to this, it doesn't feel like an 8-bit DOE. It doesn't feel like original NES as SNES D-pad. It feels to me more like a modern Pro Controller D-pad, but feeling better, which is saying something. Like,
I mean, this is what it felt like. This is the same D-pad that was on it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's amazing.
It's just buttery smooth.
This is better than the 8-bit DOE
D-pad. The travel, like to actually press the thing down,
yes.
It's so low.
There's a satisfying,
it feels really good, man.
There's a satisfying click to it too. It's not clicky, but you know what I'm talking about? Like there's like this plastic click.
Something in the it mushes in a way, but when it mushes, it just gives, and it's just like yes.
Let's get some ASMR for a second. Let's see if they can hear it.
Okay, I do want to say this. Hero of Time, you do have a voice. Geeb, happy you have an argument on it, but you are fundamentally wrong.
And Lone Wolf agrees with me. So thank you, Lone Wolf, for agreeing with me. And we will all agree to disagree. Listen, I stand where I stand. I believe what I say. I take off my nostalgia glasses to look at that. Some people can't. I'm Lone Wolf.
I appreciate it.
I'm glad you guys can. I'm Lone Wolf. I'm glad you and I can take off our glasses together.
Mine stay on. Mine stay on.
Like I said, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 controller. This thing's fucking.
Yeah, it's great.
Fucking awesome.
It's fantastic. I love it.
Oh, I didn't. Also, there's one more thing I wanted to mention quickly. You may have noticed on my and again, you disagree with me on this too. The analog stick on this thing, I currently have a Joy-Con thumb grip on it. That's because I don't love it's for me, especially right out of the box, not being worn and have my finger oils all over it. It's very slippery, and I was literally having problems playing the games because my finger kept slipping off. I'm like, this is not fun. Put this guy on there, fixed it all up. You can't even tell that it doesn't change the look too much. Obviously, we're missing some circle rings, the iconic little rings.
But I have those rings still embedded in my thumb from all those years ago. They're just still in there.
When you get fingerprinted.
Like as soon as I put it in there, I could just feel it just settle down in. I'm like, yep, there we go.
Yeah,
we're back.
No, yeah,
we're back.
Other than that, like this thing's fantastic. Like
it's great. You know what? Okay, yeah. Just to put a bow on it.
Yeah,
they're coming back out with more. Early 2022, they said. I would absolutely love to see them do some of the colors that they had.
Oh my God.
Like we're right now, we're in this place. Like they did the regular controller, the Nintendo. They did the Super Nintendo. They didn't do colors really with those. They didn't.
Right.
This is something they did. They did green. They did blue. We had a red one at my house. We had a see-through green one. We had all kinds of, God, they had so many good ones. So many good ones.
If Nintendo doesn't do it, you know that companies who already make shells and stuff like that, they're going to make mod kits that already have the right button cutouts for the top, and 100% chance I will be picking those up. Like if Extreme Rate comes out with soft touch,
give me a red one all day. Because that's what I had. Yeah, that was the one. Me and my brother. So we had the gray and we had the red, and of course, we're both fighting over the red one. Yeah. No, I'm using the red one. Nope, it's mine. No, I'm using the red one. And of course, that's the one that wore out first. So then eventually it was like, no, you're using the red one. No, you're using the red one. Because the sticks on these things, you'll notice once you start using it, if it's still the same design, this thing's going to be quite floppy pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I hope I can actually replace the stick or repair it. Actually, would be preferable if I can do that. Because I watched a repair video, a teardown video of this guy.
Yeah, us as adults, we can probably fix it.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But yeah, awesome controller. We'll move on to the next subject, which is obviously this all kind of relates to each other here. Transitioning into the Nintendo Nintendo Switch Online 64 expansion pack in particular. We're not gonna really talk about Sega too much. Sega is Sega. Neither Drip and I really cares too much about that. So we're gonna talk about the 64 in particular.
Yeah, we'll say it real quick. All the Sega games run great. And
do
if you
run great.
haven't, go play Echo the Dolphin. That's it.
I haven't. I actually want to go play that.
Dude. I told Gels about that. I told her we were talking. I think it was maybe it was like I was like, listen, you have to. It's like, all right. I'm like, trust me. Do it.
Yeah, I just don't have anything passionate to say about Sega. That's all. I mean, Sonic was fun when I played it.
All the games run great.
Yeah,
they all
fun.
run great.
I will play them.
There's not an issue with any of them.
Again. Yeah, right. So, let's just get right into the 64 expansion pack here. What? Just tell me what your thought. What? I'll let you kind of drive this. What are your thoughts? What do you want to say about this? Because I have some stuff written down.
I mean, it's got a few issues.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do you want to begin?
I'm not. I mean, obviously, I know you're referring to my video today, which got absolutely obliterated with downvotes, which, like I said in the video, I'm here for it. I don't care. It's my opinion. If you don't like it, cool. Like I said, hit the thumbs down, because any engagement is good engagement to YouTube.
Would you
so I don't really care.
Would you like to be updated on the current standing of likes to dislike on your video?
Likes to dislikes? How I have dislikes taken over, because earlier they were in the lead, and I was like, wow, this has never happened.
So, again, this video will be down into the description of this podcast and involving it, and also any other links that we talk about, we'll have down in the podcast description. But as of right now, Drip's video that he released today currently has 66 likes to 53 dislikes.
Ooh, it's close. At least I'm on the top end now.
Yeah.
That's fine. We're on the top end. We're doing okay.
We're doing all right.
I mean, like I said, I don't care, man. Like, I have an opinion on it. It's my opinion. And I'm glad that other people have other opinions. I don't like the fake outrage that's going, like, come on. We're talking about fog in a 20-year-old game in one area has caused, like, come on.
Well, to be fair, it's the whole game. It's not just in one area. It's not only Ocarina. It's every game has this problem, but in that area,
no. That is not true. Every game does not have that problem. That is not true.
Nintendo Life.
These games are not created equally as far as emulation goes. They are Star Fox 64. I said it today in the video. This is the best version of the original Star Fox 64 that I've played. It's 1-to-1, man. It's perfect. Yeah. It is perfect. Everything runs great. There's not an issue in it. And my God, it's crispy. Like, not only is it exactly like the original, it looks better than the original, because it's upscaled, obviously, for modern monitors. I mean, it's great. So they're not all created equally. The two that have the big problems, well, there's three that have some problems. But it's Mario 64. Everybody's mad about the input delay, which,
yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. You got to be kidding me.
Let's start with what's not going to hurt ourselves. Let's start with the fog. Okay, so from what I understand from Nintendo Life, you could be right about it's not every emulation is equal as far as the fog, but as far as I understand, Nintendo Life kind of confirmed that every game does have a problem with that. It's not 1-to-1. Maybe Star Fox could be. I'm not saying it's not. I believe you.
Star Fox is. I'm telling you. It's 1-to-1.
I believe you. They didn't talk about Star Fox. They really talked about Ocarina and Mario Kart.
I've played
64.
The hell out of that game.
Mario Kart 64. They showed like you were in the same spot in the same area, kind of like Ocarina, and the fog was farther away. So like the draw, and it's actually, people are kind of missing the point here. It's an improvement. What they've done is created a farther draw distance. You can see farther, which is an improvement. Some people don't like it because they wanted exactly what they had as a child.
Preservation is what people keep preaching.
Yeah. But
preservation,
it's
which
not,
I get.
It's not like they completely changed anything. They just made the draw distance farther so you can see. It's really nothing to get upset about. And kind of going off what you just said, people are really kind of taking this out of proportion. They're really it's really kind of anger for no reason. It's like, listen, now in Ocarina, there is a problem. I think that's a problem. The way that looks compared to how it should look, it doesn't look good.
Okay.
I think that is a problem they should fix.
No. Okay.
Am I
No.
Am I pitchforking
agree.
like everyone else? No. But they should fix it.
I agree. Should it be fixed?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
If it's not right, yes, it should be fixed. But the outrage over some fog? Like, come on, man. Like, the stuff that's online, like, you got to be kidding me.
Well, in Ocarina, the water looks bad. That water looks bad.
Okay, but let me ask you this. And I actually asked a bunch of people on my stream the other night when I was bitching about this same thing.
Yeah.
If you have or have not played the game, are you going to sit here and tell me that fog being there or not being there is affecting your enjoyment of the game as a whole? Because with or without the fog, that's one of the best games ever made. With or without the fog. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. Fix it. I understand. But it's not like there's frame rate issues. It's not like the game's broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not only is it playable, it's way beyond playable. It's enjoyable.
It's fun.
There's tiny little things that people just want to nitpick, and I'm like, why is it that it's just anytime Nintendo does something that's even just slightly like, oh, there, right there's a crack right there. Like, just go for it. Like, everybody just wants to pile on, and I'm like, why can't we just enjoy stuff? Like, why can't we just take these games for what they are? They need to be fixed. Now, don't get me wrong. I agree. The stuff that's wrong, the save stuff, the time trial stuff in Mario Kart, fix it. It's not that big of a deal.
Yes.
And again, I don't know a whole lot about emulation, but it seems like this stuff isn't like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Just fix it. It's fine. These are little things, but we don't need to make this a giant. It's just insane to me. It's honestly hilarious for me to watch these people just so mad about these tiny little things, and it's like, don't you like? You're mad about, like, do you like Nintendo? Do you like these games?
No, we hate it.
Like, clearly you don't. Like, you want it to fail. Like, that's just like the vibe I get from the whole thing. It's like, the fuck? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some problems, but they are so minor. They're so minor.
That's what we really need to take away from this conversation here. It's not that we're not coming after anybody here. We just want everyone to, like, take a breath and really think about what you're talking about here. These games aren't unplayable. They're not untrue to their form, they're not disrespecting the games. Like, Nintendo did this. They put this out. Did they make some mistakes? Yes. Nintendo tends to make plenty of mistakes. We all know this. If you listen to our podcast for any longer than the last 20 minutes, you know that Nintendo makes mistakes. It's fine. And it's also fine.
Hey, yo, real quick, just pause for a second. Uncle Beagle in the chat. Look out. Okay, go ahead.
I saw Uncle Beagle.
Oh, he's here, dude. He's
now
here.
We're friends now. It's all good. Hi, Uncle Beagle.
I thought you guys were going to fight.
Now we're friends now.
Uncle, fight.
What was I just saying? I'll cut this out. What was I just saying?
You were talking about the crap.
Chat, what was I saying?
Interrupted.
You shouldn't have, because I am the worst at remembering what I was saying.
You were talking about how, I don't know. I can say a little more, and we can probably bring you back. And it's not. I said this in the video too, and I'm not. I wasn't like calling out anybody for whatever. I don't think it's like one person out here. You know what I mean? Like trying to like get a mob started. I just think people are taking this entire thing out of context.
Exactly.
And it's not, like you said earlier, it's not actual creators on YouTube taking it out of context. It's people watching their videos and taking what they're saying out of context and just for lack of a better term, they're just acting like sheep and thinking they know what this person is saying, but that's not actually what they're saying. And then the hate starts. And then it just builds and builds and builds. And it becomes this thing where it's like what are we doing?
Yeah, let's everybody, let's take a breath and realize
Yeah.
that the experience playing these games, maybe it's not a 1-to-1 of the original, maybe it's not, but it is still incredibly fun. Especially for someone like me who hasn't played Mario Kart 64 in probably 17 years, booting it back up again was a blast. And then also picking up this N64 wireless controller was like a blast from the past.
Yeah.
Is the fog 20 feet farther in front of me than it used to be? Yeah. Does it mean that the whole game sucks now? No. In Ocarina, you're at the water temple. Does it look as good as it used to? Probably not, looking at those screenshots.
It's one room, though, man. It's one room.
Looking at that, is it looking as good? No.
No.
Does it really
it's one
matter?
room.
No, it doesn't matter. It's still fun. Not, like it's fun. We're having fun, everybody.
Do you know where this whole input lag thing came from for the Mario stuff?
Yeah, we didn't even touch
Speedrunners.
Yeah, we haven't
Speedrunners.
If you're speedrunning, get original hardware, you dope.
What are you doing on this anyway? Exactly. Like, what are you trying to do here? Like, okay, it's like, listen, again, let's go back to this because I don't want this to be forgotten. If it's a problem, it needs fixed. I'm on that boat. I agree. But come the fuck on. Like, seriously.
Here's how this happened. We'll call him Jimmy. I love using that name. Little Jimmy. I'm sorry if your name is Jimmy. I don't mean this offensively. Little Jimmy is 12 years old and is watching his favorite speedrunner on YouTube or Twitch. And speedrunner mentions, oh yeah, I tried that. The input lag's a little bit hard. I'm probably not going to ever play that. I'm going to keep playing my original hardware on Twitch for my speedruns. And that's what I'm going to do. Little Jimmy goes, I can't afford a Nintendo 64. I wanted to play it on the service. This fucking sucks. This is the worst thing ever. How are you ever supposed to speedrun on this game?
Jimmy has a potty mouth like that.
How am I supposed to copy my favorite creator by speedrunning on my own time and starting my own Twitch with 0 viewers for 14 months on my own? How am I ever supposed to do that if I can't speedrun on 64 online?
Gee, poor Jimmy.
Listen, not everyone gets it, okay? Like,
I know. And like I said, I kind of said it in the video a little bit calmer than I just did, but
yeah.
It's just
let it loose, Drip. Let it loose.
Like, come on. Like, can we not just enjoy this for what it is?
No,
I want it fixed too. I
agree. I want to make sure that people understand, because people are going to get like this. Listen, you have a voice, and I'm a Philly sports fan. If there's one thing I know, it's criticism and having a voice. People criticize Philly sports fans all the time because all we do is boo. We boo our own players, and you should just, it's mean. You're mean people. You should be happy. Listen, shut the fuck up. Number one.
Yeah, F in the chat for a little Jimmy, please.
Number two, okay, listen up, guys. You have a voice, and if you have a voice and you use that voice, you'll get improvements will happen. The Eagles didn't win a Super Bowl because we sat back and, like a Bills fan, no offense to our Bills viewers,
no.
but because we sat back and waited for Rex Ryan to save our team for us, and it's like, no, it didn't work out. But listen, the Eagles, we voiced our opinion. We waited 50 years, we got our Super Bowl because we voiced our opinion, and we let and they made changes based off of what the fans were saying. I don't care what anybody says. It was obvious, clear as day, that what we said made an impact. And actually, the teams will listen to sports radio and get a vibe of the fans. They do that. It's for real, especially Philly sports. Anyway, how that relates to here is that I want you guys to know you have a voice, and you can voice your opinion on Twitter, all your socials, stuff like that. And if you don't like something, you should tell Nintendo to fix it.
If you don't like it, if you're not cool with it, you don't have to buy it.
You, or in this case, little Jimmy's parents are buying this. They're paying their money. You're a customer. You deserve to get what you pay for. And if you feel like you're not getting your value, voice that opinion.
Exactly. That's fine.
But don't cross the line.
I'm not saying that it doesn't need fixed.
Yeah.
Like, again, I know I keep saying that, but like, I don't want to sit here and sound like, like I'm like, oh, Nintendo's great. They don't do it. Like, no, Nintendo's terrible. I know this. I'm very aware of that. I've called them out for several things over my time on YouTube. I'm aware they suck 90% of the time. But dude, this stuff is cool. Does it have problems? Yeah, but it's still fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to enjoy it. Like, I don't know.
You
I
know
don't
what
know.
doesn't have problems? The Animal
I
Crossing
want to
2.
talk about one more thing before we go
Ah,
on
you
this.
ruined it. I was doing
No,
it. I was going there.
I'm not ready for you to go yet.
Okay.
I want to say something that I forgot to put. I made 2 videos about this, and I forgot to put it in both videos.
Let's hear it.
It's about the price. Okay?
Okay. Another controversial topic here.
A very controversial topic. I think as gamers, we are conditioned to think that we are owed a certain thing for a certain price, and if we do not get that, then we stomp our feet and we raise our fists and we get mad. Let me tell you about the real world outside of gaming. First of all, video games, as far as the price of a video game, do you realize how long the prices have been the same?
How long?
Like, inflation doesn't happen.
Actually, I kind of know.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just now starting to see, like, the newer games are 70 instead of 60. Like,
Right.
these games cost 60, 50. Like, a lot of these games were pretty expensive back in the day. We have not seen inflation in gaming. Now,
We're just starting to see it, and it's very minimal.
we are starting to see it. We are starting to see it. And I just want to give that as a little bit of context to what I'm going to say here. Now, we're talking about the Nintendo Switch online service, which includes cloud saves. And I believe it's unlimited, correct?
What is unlimited?
Is there a cap
What cap on what?
on the amount of storage space you have for your cloud saves?
I have no idea.
I don't know if there is or not.
I don't think
It
so.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. Let me tell you guys something about cloud storage in the real world outside of gaming. So let's just see what Nintendo's offering us here. We're getting cloud storage for all of our saves. We never have to worry about it. We're also getting 4 systems to play. We're getting a DLC, and there's other stuff that they keep, what is it? Tetris 99.
Yep.
We got the Mario thing.
Yep.
We're going to probably be getting more stuff in this. And if you're a single person, that's $50. Okay?
Yep.
Let's just put it into context here. You can also go into a group with up to 8 people and get it for $80, which is $10 a person, which is what I'm doing. $10 a person.
Yep.
Now, I am a photographer, as you know. I do product photography, so I work for a lot of different people. I don't work. They're not here. Like, a lot of them
Right.
are in California, China. Like, I work for people all over the place. I need to be able to get them their photos easily. They need to be accessible for them, for me to make changes, do this. So I use Dropbox. Do you know what it costs me a year to just have cloud storage? I don't get any games. I don't get anything. I don't get shit. Do you know how much it costs me for one person to have cloud storage through Dropbox?
What's your price?
$120 a year.
How much? How many?
120.
No.
It is $120 a year. It is $10 a month.
For how
I'm
much
paying
storage?
$10. I get 2 terabytes.
2 terabytes. I mean, that's a lot of terabytes.
It's a nice size.
That's a lot of gigs.
Now listen, you can move up to the family plan, which with Nintendo, you are paying $80
Yes.
for a year. Do you know what a family plan costs? And now, mind you, this too, you get 8 spots with Nintendo. With Dropbox, you get 5. You're paying $204 for a family plan for a year for Dropbox for just cloud storage.
That's a lot.
Just cloud storage.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Nothing on top of that. If you want the e-sign, the document sign thing, you're paying even more. You're paying like $35 a month for that. Not a year, a month. We're spoiled. We're spoiled. And it's funny because you see all this stuff with Nintendo getting shit for $50. It's like, come on, man. No. we're spoiled, and it's hilarious. Honestly, it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people are young, and
Yeah.
I can make the argument that even for me, as someone who's only still, I mean, I'm entering my late 20s at this point, which is gross, but someone who's still only in their 20s,
late 20s, man. You're getting
it's
up
gross.
there.
It's gross to think about, but I mean, like
Go
going,
get your walker for your birthday, man. Oh
dude,
my god,
I need a walker 2 weeks ago. I mean, I couldn't walk. I was on crutches. But like, man, like kids these days. I'm not going all Mangino. I'm saying kids these days are actually, because of the internet, they're much more. I'm not gonna say mature, but they're definitely more adult things integrated into their life than
in tune with the world.
Even when I was a kid, because of the internet, and I had the internet as a kid too. But as we get more and more into the internet age, if you will, the kids these days are getting more like, I understand, like kid, like for example, we'll throw Hari's name out there. We've had him on the podcast. He's 18 years old. He's a kid, but like he probably has more knowledge about stuff at 18 than I ever did because of the internet.
Oh God, yeah.
And the world in general. He knows things about the world.
When I was a teenager, we had fucking dial up. Okay?
Yeah.
So I don't yeah. We had dial up.
Yeah. So kids these days, like, they're definitely more adultish than we ever were. So they are more in touch, but I don't remember how it's going to connect this to what we were talking about.
Damn, I wish you would.
Like, I can't remember how I was going to connect it. Son of a bitch. But about the pricing and stuff. That's one thing that's still not really that different. Okay, like the kids these days are like normally are not like how we were as a kid. We unless you had a job or something, which even if you had a job, you still probably weren't paying for a lot of this stuff. Your parents were still buying it for you.
Exactly.
For the holiday. Like they don't have what they still don't have a grasp on is pricing and stuff. So even if you're 18, like Hari, and pretty much an adult in every way, in a lot of ways, you still don't have a real grasp until you're out in the real world, working in the real world, out of college, out of high school. That's when you learn. That's when you learn about the real world, including how things work price-wise. It's not that much money. And probably the conversation about this, how high the price is being driven by children.
And I do want to say something I'm seeing in the chat right now. They're talking about Game Pass listen, Game Pass is the best deal on the planet. How they're doing that for the price they're doing, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I'm saying it's a good deal. We're very spoiled.
We're very spoiled. Let's talk real quick. Let's talk about Netflix. Let's talk about Spotify. All these things that we pay for subscription wise. A lot of the times they're losing money. They're losing money. I don't truly understand how they do this stuff. Spotify, they're actually making money. It's in that case, in Spotify's case, the creators are losing the money. The artists, they're the ones losing the money. But like these things are cheap. These things are cheap.
Either way.
All this.
I mean, when you look at, like I said, literal cloud storage, and I'm not even on a business plan. I'm on just a single person, like regular, like. I know, whatever. Compared to everything else, yeah, it sucks. Whatever, cool, whatever, it sucks. Whatever. Opinions are gonna vary from the top to the bottom, back to the front on this.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Everybody has their opinion. It's totally fine. I'm just saying, when you're looking at the way I'm doing this right now, $10 a year, like, dude, I'm totally good with this.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be fixed. I want the little problems to be fixed. I want to see it better. I would like to see them better. Their actual the peer-to-peer internet thing sucks. Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
That should not be happening right now. I get it. I totally understand that. But at the same time, it's like, they're not going to change. So either do it or don't.
To put a bow
Stop
on
bitching about it.
To put a bow on it, like a wise man once said, to put a bow on it. I want to read a comment that I saw way earlier in the chat that I want to highlight. Again, Power Mad, thanks for coming through. My problem is that these people who moan, what he's trying to say is the people who moan, they still buy it. It's the people who are moaning are the ones, and they're buying it still. That's the problem. Okay, going back to my Philly sports reference, that when Philly sports fans have problems with things, we don't just moan, and we don't buy tickets either. And people criticize that too. They call us front runners because we show up when they're good and not when they're bad. No. You're misunderstanding what the purpose is here. We moan and we can bitch and complain because they suck and we're upset and we can see how they can be better. and we make, that's not the point. The point is we also don't go to the games. We're not paying those high. We pay a premium in Philly. We're a top 5 market, and they give us shit products. We're not going like a Cubs fan and selling out the stadium every single night, even when they're bad, because all you're doing is letting the ownership charge you a premium, and you're paying that premium for a shit product. No, we're gonna sit our ass home, watch on cable, if even that, and let them know how we feel about it. And when we actually do go, it's the boo, because they suck and they need to fix it. And these people who are buying it, why are you buying it? Don't buy it if you think it sucks.
If you hate it so much, don't buy it.
You're just giving Nintendo money, and they're going to go, I don't care what you say. You gave me your money. That speaks for itself.
And I understand that. I get all of that. But it's like, man, I don't know. It's just, it's insane, man.
Yeah.
The whole thing is crazy. I honestly really wish that this would have just come out. All the games would have been, just as good as the Sega games, and it wouldn't have been a thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. But I'll tell you this. I'm sticking to what I said in the first video I made about this. I also said it in the video I put out today. I'm giving this a year. I want to see where this is at in a year. There's a lot of games. Supposedly, we know some of them that they said that they're going to have out. So we know some of those coming. I mean, there's a list, an empty list. Power Mad actually is the one who was talking about it in Discord. Him and I were going back and forth on what games could be taking those places. I'm actually going to make a video about that probably early next week, filling in those spots, which he pretty much already did. I disagree with some of them, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming to this. Here's what I want to see. I want to see the small problems we have right now, this fog issue, the latency on something. Like, let's fix it. Let's fix it so the new stuff coming in isn't like, well, is this going to have a problem? Or is this going to have a problem? Like, that's where we're at right now, which sucks. It's questions instead of just like, this is fun. We're getting this game. Like, oh, cool, Banjo-Kazooie's coming. Okay, is it going to have frame rate issues? Is it going to have input lag? Like, that sucks that's a question. And that's what everybody's saying now.
That's where that's where we are in gaming.
Is to fix the shit. Fix it.
Yeah.
And move on.
Well, unfortunately,
then this thing can be successful.
About input lag, but more I'm going to stress more about the frame rates and stuff. First off, the frame rates, they're going to be that's not because the Switch hardware is bad, but I guess it's more of a question. It's triggering for people because with the Switch.
Have you had any frame rate issues on 64 stuff?
I may or may not leave this part in what we're about to talk about because we need to talk about it because he just brought it up. That playing a retro game, the last thing I am going to think of is if I'm getting a solid frame rate.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the last thing on my mind.
If you get one, that's great because guess what? You weren't getting it on a. Like, I can tell you several instances.
We're not playing
on regular hardware where you're getting frame rate issues.
We're not playing
Mario.
Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Xbox Series X. Like that's modern games, modern problems. Retro games. The last thing I'm thinking about is there's a little drip in frame rate. Like, for example, Ocarina of Time, that game runs like absolute fucking shit. It's always ran like fucking shit, though. I have to erase that from my mind playing it in modern day, because back in the day, we weren't thinking about that. We were going, this game's revolutionary. Not the frame rate's really bad. It was bad for the time. Other games ran 60 frames per second at the time.
Yeah, Lone Wolf said kind of spoil with emulators now because, they run it better than the original hardware did.
The fact that you asked me that question.
That's definitely one. You're right. Like Ocarina of Time on original hardware, there's places where it is just dog shit. It's trash.
In my opinion,
God, look at Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild on the Switch.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, it's dog shit all the time. The frame rates are always bad in that game. It's literally 20 frames per second at its fastest. It's mostly running at 15 frames a second. That's really, really bad. That's Hyrule Warriors territory bad. But it doesn't cross my mind with I play that game.
I understand what you mean. I mean, it matters a little bit because we're doing this as a new thing, so it does kind of matter a little bit. But that's not something I think. Yeah, like going in to like play Star Fox, not once
Oh, it dipped to
any of my
25.
playthroughs have I been like, what's the frame rate at?
Every time
I know it's been pretty.
Every
good.
time I do a barrel roll, it dips to 25. Bullshit.
Do a barrel roll.
Bullshit. No, dude. Who cares? The game looks like shit anyway. These games look like shit.
That's not true. Star Fox looks great.
Take your nostalgia glasses off. Because if we're gonna talk about frame rates, we gotta talk about what they look like in modern terms. Because frame rates are modern things. The way the games look is modern because no one cared back then. Every little upgrade was like just going from 8-bit to 16-bit was like whoa. Like it's not about how it looked. It's just like it's a little bit better. 8-bit to like it looks like shit to today's standards. If you released a game look like that today, we'd laugh at you.
Another comment in the chat here, Alex Switch Corner. He's talking about how he's a purist with the retro stuff, and I know he is. He's got crazy hardware that runs these things runs these old games just insane. He sent me one night. We were just texting back and forth, and he sent me like a bunch of pictures of all this stuff. It's insane, and for people like that, it does matter because when you're playing these games at that level, it's different. But like I remember playing like Mario, like you get the stutter and you don't even know what it is. Like I remember playing like Cruising USA.
Yeah.
Like a car pileup would happen. It was just like dut, 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 dut. You're like, oh, I don't know what that means, but let's keep going. Like I didn't care. I didn't even care then. You know what I mean?
Nobody should care, even in today's days. We have to take your nostalgia glasses off. Actually, in this case, honestly, you put them back on because it doesn't matter. The frame rates don't matter for these retro games.
To a point. You're right. To a point. I mean, I want a stable frame rate, obviously, but it does. I'm not looking for like 60 frames per second. I don't care about
the emulator. If it doesn't run a stable frame, if it doesn't run the same way, if it runs worse than how it did in original hardware, then that should be changed. The game should run no better than original hardware. I don't expect it to run any better than original hardware on an emulator. That's where HD remakes come into play. If you want to make Ocarina of Time in an HD remake, that's when I'll start giving the game crap. Like in Link's Awakening remake, when you transition from level to level, and there's a little frame rate drop.
When you go from the
like it's not a problem,
screen,
but I mean it's notable, and that is not great. But if the original game did that, no one said, well, it sucks. No, you wouldn't think that. But so that if you want better frame rates and better visuals, then make a remake or buy a remake of the game. If it doesn't have a remake, suck it up.
Yeah.
Or do what Alex does and get the beefy hardware and play the retro games on beefy hardware. Then you won't have those problems. This is fun. We're having fun.
Sometimes yeah. Alex is dropping knowledge in the chat right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can't read that right now. We're recording. But let's transition. Happy times. We're going back to being happy, Drip.
Oh, yeah. Alex is going to be super happy that we're going to this.
I know.
Glad
it's
you're
so
here, buddy.
Great.
Glad you're here, buddy.
My girlfriend didn't dump me. She left me. She was playing Animal Crossing, and now, as you can see, she's just gone. She left. She doesn't like me anymore. We're transitioning to Animal Crossing DLC, which released 2 days early. Can you believe it?
Dude. Okay, so last night, let's just go there. Last night I was like, all right. So again, we're shouting out Switch Corner a bunch, but Alex was kind enough to give me he had an extra code for World War Z. And I didn't get one because nobody wants to give me codes ever. I don't really cover games. I just cover bullshit.
Alex gave me codes. He likes me better than you.
So he was like, hey, in my chat the other night when I was streaming, he's like, I have an extra code for World War Z. Do you want it? And I was like, oh my God, yes, I'll do a video on it. Yeah, for sure. Uh-oh, Animal Crossing's coming back.
Animal Crossing girl's back.
Sorry.
I see it. So I was like, yeah, I'd love to do a video about World War Z. I heard it's really good on the Switch. I heard it's a great port. Can't wait to check it out. So last night, I got done editing what I was editing last night, and I was about to start my stream, just starting to like come down here, turn on the lights, and get things going. And someone in the Discord was like, yo, Animal Crossing update just hit. I was like, no shit. No shit.
Mario 64 even posted.
Yeah. So yeah, well, no, after it was in our Discord, I got the Wario 64.
Really?
Yes. I don't remember who it was in Discord last night. I need to go back and look, but that was first. Then I got Wario 64's update on Twitter, and I was like, oh shit, this is real. It's happening. So I come down here and I'm like, okay, we gotta go. Okay, World War Z's not happening, which sucks because I still haven't even opened it. I want to play it so bad because I hear it's really good on the Switch, like an amazing port. So yeah, I ended up downloading that last night and playing that on stream. Wow, man. Like they it's funny because like they gave us a taste of what this update was going to be in the trailer
Yeah.
and in the direct that we saw. It was a taste, but there was so much. And that's the thing. We haven't even got to the paid DLC yet. There is so much in this update. I mean, I couldn't even get to it. I streamed for 2 hours last night and still I didn't even get to Harv's Island last night on stream.
Yeah. Yeah, I had just started myself last night when I heard it was downloading in Discord. I also did the same thing, started it up. Unfortunately, my island is still kind of youthful. I need 3, so you need 3 stars to unlock the Brewster. The Brewster, cafe.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
So I'm
5 stars, so it's
oh,
like,
okay, yeah. I'm a new island. I've been playing this game. This is a new island. Anyway, so I'm a little down right now because I'm trying. I got everything else except for to be able to unlock Brewster. I haven't gone to Harv's Island yet. I will try that probably after the stream is over.
Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming Animal Crossing after this. We're unlocking all that stuff. I'm just gonna time travel and unlock it all.
So I need to do more landscaping and stuff to make it prettier. To just basically, I need to pump some flowers out in the ground.
Yeah, you need some tips. I need some tips. I mean, I got a 5-star island.
It's okay. I used to have 3 5-star islands, but I've changed islands multiple times. So talk to me when you have 3 5-star islands. But so my current island, we're only 2 stars, and I need to plant some flowers to just. I probably need to plant like 1 more flower and maybe give me 3 stars. I don't really know. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, what is the point?
Yo, the point is, I'm looking at my phone right now.
Yeah,
got an update from Twitch.
Yeah.
Shibby is streaming the DLC. It has released.
What?
The DLC is released.
Breaking news. Do.
Nobody leave. Everybody stay here. Don't go over
nobody
there.
leave. I mean, everyone grab your Switch, please. And
I'm gonna start updating.
Our resident viewer / stream Animal Crossing player right here in the background, Abigail, Mrs. Geeb, the DLC is released. Did you hear me, Mrs. Geeb?
I heard.
Now, I don't know for sure, but he said DLC. That's what it said.
Yeah, I don't know how to get there. Anyway, DLC is live. That's cool. Obviously, they're recording this. You guys will, much after. Trimini Gaming's playing Switch on the podcast. Thanks, man.
I'm here, dude. It's fine.
Listen, I mean, I have. What I've written down here. The Animal Crossing 2.0 update came early, two nights early, and yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about it. It's up early and it's fun.
Dude, that's it. That's literally all you have.
That's all I have. It's because I haven't really gotten to the cool stuff yet, Brewster or Harv. I just kind of downloaded my Nook Miles stuff.
Okay, I have all that. No, it's not. It's not updated.
Hey, we can wrap this podcast up. Then you can play your Switch.
It's not updated. Okay. I have lots to say about it.
Go ahead, go for it.
Okay. Where to start? The items. Just the amount of items. I haven't even seen a lot of them, but just the stuff you can get, like the Nook Miles stuff.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
There's a fucking yacht, dude. There's a yacht. It's a yacht.
I picked up some cool park benches and a clock tower. I picked those up.
Oh my god! And there's these little gazebos that have like moss. Like they look, dude. It looks like Listen, like
can you walk under the gazebo?
My island is like a resort.
Can you walk
island.
in the gazebo?
Oh yeah, you can walk in.
It's like huge.
I was sitting in mine last night. It's not huge, but I can go in there and sit for sure. Yeah, they got like moss on this. Oh, dude, it's like straight up resort style gazebo. There's several different versions of gazebo. There's a ton of stuff, man. There's cars. Like actual cars. You can turn the headlights on and stuff. Dude,
let me drive my car on my deserted island in the middle of the ocean.
I mean,
what about boats? Give us a boat to ride around on. We got Captain.
Just the amount of stuff that I saw last night was enough to like the bare spots of my island. I'm like, I can fill these easy. I know exactly what I'm going to do here.
Yeah.
And there's points in my islands now. I'm redoing this entire thing because of all the new. I saw nothing last night. I saw nothing.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff. I did see a list of it today. A friend of mine actually sent me a video with a list of all of it. And I'm actually going to put a video out on my favorites of all that next week as well.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Again, your YouTube link is in the description.
Mhm. So we're gonna do that. There's so much new stuff. There's panda backpacks.
Wow.
You know what else there is?
What?
Like a backpack thing? A sword
Oh, that's pretty
that you
cool.
can wear on your
Samurai
back.
sword.
It's a sword. No, it's like a knight's like there's a blue one. It looks like the master sword.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. There's a lot of really cool stuff. I saw a bunch of stuff. The girl that I rated last night after my stream, she's like an Animal Crossing Twitch streamer, which is why I was like, okay, yeah, let's go here. But
Yeah.
she was deep into stuff, but she had like the list up and was like showing all the new stuff. It's insane, man. They put so much into just this free update.
Yeah.
I will say this. If this all came at one time yesterday, like how would you even consume all this at one time? The DLC plus these two things, that's why they did it 2 days early. It had to be. It's so much stuff. Like you need days to even get used to like all this new stuff. You know, you've got the gyroids and stuff now. You've got all these new islands that you can go to with it's just there's so much. Brewster, oh yeah, we were in the cafe last night chilling. I was using my little amiibo
Yeah.
tokens, just bringing people in.
Yeah. I mean,
Fun fact about that, really quick. You can only have one person in at a time, which I thought was kind of a bummer.
what?
You can only bring one person in at a time. Not like
Oh,
you
your
or me. Like
amiibos.
you and I could be there, and then I could bring in like with my amiibo, I could bring in like Isabel. But as
Amiibos.
soon as I
Okay.
try to scan another one, they're like, okay, well, you have somebody here. Do you want them to leave? So you can't bring like I thought that would be really cool if you could have multiple people, but
That's
you can't.
that's pretty silly that they don't allow you to do that. Like there's not
Like at least two.
there's
Wouldn't that be cool?
yeah, it's 8. Listen, there's so many things about this game that I'm not gonna bring the tone
Three,
down.
a table full.
'Cause
You and three guests.
I mean, you
A
and I
table
have
full.
very similar opinions on the things that are wrong about this game. And at least my opinions are they should fix all these things, but they're never going to now. That's for sure. Like quality of life things that were not included in this update. Like the one quality of life thing is you can now crawl in the little spaces you couldn't do before. Like little
Okay, but I did
little
that
crab
last
dance.
night, and I can now navigate my entire basement.
Which it's cool. It's a cool little quality of life thing. I agree.
Do you remember how my basement was before that?
Not really.
You could go into the like when you walk in, I have all those arcade cabs and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
You can go into the one place where the bar is right there, no further.
And
But now you can just scoot by the bar.
My
and then
basement,
you can like scoot behind the bar. It's nice, man. It is nice.
My basement is a music room, if you recall, and I got like all the instruments in there. And what was cool was like my drum sets. I'm a percussionist. I'm a drummer. That's what I like. And in my drum set setup, I have it like Neil Peart has his setup. So his drum set, and then behind him is a gong. And then I would have chimes if I did because he has lots of chimes. I used to have a marimba on one side of it, and the way it used to work.
I'd check the new items. You might.
Oh, I will check more for sure. But like, so the way it used to work in my basement before the quality of life update was I would sit in my drum set chair. I could hit my drum set. I could turn around, hit my gong, but I couldn't touch my marimba. The way it worked. Now, I can also get off my drum set and touch my marimba and play my drum set and play my gong. I'm happy.
Yeah.
What's this face you got?
Yeah, it's nice. You can move around.
The chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, the chat's going crazy.
Can
Can you run over animals in a car? No, I don't think that's added that, Alex. I don't think
you
so.
cannot. No, you actually can't get in the cars. You can just turn the lights on. But there's several different kinds. There's like trucks and cars and like box trucks, like delivery. There's a lot of shit.
I think
it's interesting.
Listen, I don't think listen, the update's cool. We both agree
it's great.
It's awesome. There's nothing really more we need to say. It'd be just dragging it on. But I want to say this. A while back, you and I discussed when this DLC an update was announced. Question you had brought up to me was, excuse me, I burped. Would this get Geeb back into Animal Crossing?
That was my one question. Yes, I said, okay. So, but that was our thing. Let's go back a little bit more. Let's get into this just a tiny bit more. You and I had both fallen out of the game a little bit. You way more than me. I at least go back and play.
I haven't played before the last few weeks. I haven't played this game since March of 2021.
Right. I still play. I play much less than I did. I mean, at this point now, it's like must be on the. Oh my God.
Just ignore him.
At this point now, I'm playing obviously more than I was, but yeah, you were done. You were done.
I was done. I haven't played.
And
since
I was
March.
like, come on, man, you gotta play. You gotta play. You're like, I don't have anything to do. I'm bored. And we always said, like, man, we need an update that's gonna get us really like in. Like I was already in, but like back in, like to like new things. This is that update, correct?
Let me tell you how I know this is that update. The thought of this update, the release of it, like that's what I was playing. I've spoilers. I've been playing this game for weeks now. I've been playing since the announcement at least. I was on Abby's. As you know, we restart our island multiple times. I was on her island as like a resident, but not the head person. That update made me get off her island to start my own island on my own Switch. Which, by the way, I bought another Switch, and one of the factors of buying a second Switch was so I could have my own Animal Crossing island on my own Switch. Not, so Abby and I can have separate Switches and stuff.
Yeah,
I have my own island. All this has happened within the last 3 weeks. Made my own island. That's why I'm only 2 stars still. And I'm back into it. I got all my villagers. Like I've been back in preparation for this update. Now that it's dropped last night, I was playing. I usually go to bed around like 9:30 these days because I like to get up. I like to get my 8 hours of sleep. So, but I was playing into like 10:15 last night. I was watching your stream as well till about that time, local time. So for you it was 11. But like I was so excited. I was beyond excited to get this update on my Switch, get all this new stuff, and now that Abby's currently just finished downloading her DLC. You can't really hear her, but she's being funny. She just got her DLC. And she just downloaded. I can't wait. You're holding your Switch at this moment, checking your downloader, getting it on. Like, this is exciting, man. This is exciting stuff.
I'm not holding my Switch. I'm
not at all. But yeah, I mean, I got
2 days early.
2 days early.
I was expecting it. We talked about this earlier, but I was expecting it to come tonight, like the night before, because that's what they've done.
That's what they usually do. That's what they usually do. But they didn't do that this time. They released it early. Listen, it's fun. Download the update. If you haven't heard, you heard it now. Right here on the Drip Geeb Podcast. The update is live. The DLC is now live. Go ahead and check all that stuff out.
The DLC is live for sure.
She just downloaded it. An update. I don't know if it's live.
Well, okay,
but the update
mine's
just
been downloaded for like a week. I need to just go to the airport and see what's up.
And there's a second update. There's a new update. It just got activated right now. Nook is talking to her on the loading screen, so she's being told right now that the update is live.
Tom Nook talks to me in the loading screen now too.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler alert: Isabel sometimes does it as well.
She does. Anyway, I was looking at your screen, Abby. It's fine. Anyway, I think this is a good place to end it. Don't you agree?
Yep, sure is. I'm busy now.
Yeah, he's busy now. Sorry, the Animal Crossing segment of this podcast was kind of lackluster, but I mean, there's nothing really more to say. It's really fun. We're really excited. Actually, I can't wait to get off here and play it right now. Well, guys, that's going to be a wrap for today's podcast. Don't forget to follow the Drip Geeb YouTube for the video format of this podcast, and make sure to tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the stream that we do on twitch.tv/dripmedia and twitch.tv/Uncle Geeb. You can check me out on twitch.tv/Uncle Geeb. Check Drip out on YouTube or twitch.tv/dripmedia. You can also we also want to thank our patrons. Thank you both the Drip patrons and the Geeb patrons individually. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. This podcast would be way harder to do without you guys, so we much appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you guys next week.
See ya.
Done. End your audio. Stream, don't go anywhere. Stream, we ain't going nowhere. Stream, don't go anywhere.
Ending the audio. Hang on.
Boom.
Stop. Done.
Cool.
Let me actually export that now before I forget.
Me too. I'm exporting as well.
Listen, I'm staying.